Yo, welcome back everybody. 2022. We need to bring energy this year. I'm hyped up. We got an absolute fucking banger of an episode starting off the year with Brandon Jennings, Mr. Tuff Crowd himself. If you're an OG follower, you remember from back in the day, we did a InkedNBA Hall of Fame, and Brandon Jennings was obviously inducted into that. This guy has been all over the page since we started in 2019. He's an absolute legend in the ink game. He's been getting tatted from when he was in high school to now, everything after the league. And I mean, it feels like he's going and getting a new piece every other week. So Brandon had a shit ton of stuff to talk about. He's really close with Steve Wiebe too. So they had a bunch of stories. Brandon was super dope. He really talked about the culture and just the people that he kind of talks to in the league now. So we got that kind of perspective from a guy out of the league talking to younger guys that are getting tatted. Super fucking cool episode. I just dropped my Discord link on the Instagram. So if you guys want to pop into that, we're going to be talking about podcast stuff on there. Anything InkedNBA related is going to be in that chat. So if you want to get in there, shoot me a DM. I'll send you the link for that. But without further ado, I mean, I really hope you guys enjoy this episode as much as I did. I love Brandon Jennings. I love his tattoos. And I think this was just a fire conversation. So sit back, relax, and enjoy episode 14. What's up, guys? This is your host, Matt Mangano. Make sure to follow, rate, and review on Apple Podcasts. And we also have a YouTube channel, so head over to YouTube and hit that subscribe button. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the InkedNBA podcast. This is a very fucking exciting episode. We got the legend, Tuff Crowd, Brandon Jennings. What's going on, bro?
What up, Matt? What y'all on up in here? Getting tats?
I'm super excited, bro, to be talking to you today. This is like, for me, this is like you were my AI, right? When I was watching ball growing up, because you've been tatted. Let's start all the way from the beginning. In the tattoo game, you're up there. You're in the Hall of Fame in my books. You've been getting tatted for the longest time. And I don't think I could find a photo of you without tattoos. I've gone back and looked. I don't think I've found anything. So when did you first get tatted, and talk me through kind of that whole experience and what happened that day?
So first time I got tatted, I was actually on my recruiting trip to Arizona. I just turned 18, 17, 18. No, actually 18. I was on my recruiting trip, and I was like, yo, on my recruiting trip, I got some time away from Oak Hill. I need a tat. Like I gotta show the guys I'm coming back with some ink on me. So I went to Arizona with Gerald Bayless. He was my at the time he was there, and he was showing me around, and I snuck off and got a tattoo on my arm of my mom and my brother with a cross, and it said I'm blessed. And I got a Bible verse on my chest, and that was the first two tats I had at like 18.
And was that like you went to a shop, or did you have one of your like boys kind of just do it for you?
No, I actually went to a shop. I went to like just a shop I just found, and I just found a guy, and I was just like, yo, ink me like this. And then, then the rest was just history.
Well, all right. So then, let's get into it. So that's, pre-college days, you start off getting tatted. I'm sure you feel like the fucking man. You walk into high school practice tatted up, like your boys are probably all hype about that. But so now talk to me then, for you, there wasn't college days. You didn't go to college. It was straight to the pros, and it was like you right up there with like the big boys kind of thing. So when you went overseas and you became the pro, was there kind of any like, what was the cultural change for you in terms of like, or just art adaptation for you? Because I know that you have that big influence. You have the tattoo, the Rome tattoo. So just talk to me about kind of going overseas and what that meant to you in an art sense.
Yeah, well, when I first went to Rome, I think the biggest thing that stuck out to me was there was a lot of graffiti everywhere, like in the streets and on the streets of Rome. So there was a lot of dope artwork around the city of Rome. I mean, of course, the food, the monuments. I mean, the Colosseum. I used to go to the Colosseum every day and have lunch over there. And I think just the day-to-day life was just, the day-to-day life was just different. I was drinking coffee, cappuccino, and, having like bagel, like, just different type of things. So everything became like art to me, like in a sense.
Okay. And then when you come over, you get drafted in 09. Talk to me about that. Talk to me about draft night. Talk to me about your expectations going into the league and just what that kind of experience was.
Yeah, well, I was told that I wasn't going to be lottery. So I had got the lottery the lottery thing in the mail. You know, everybody who's lottery dealer, they get a package in the mail. And then the day of the draft, I got told that I wasn't going to beat lottery. So that was one of the reasons why I skipped out on the draft, because I didn't want to sit in the green room and, you know, not hear my name and things like that. So, but my best workout was with the Knicks and the Bucks. Honestly, I worked out for like 13 teams because I didn't play at all. So a lot of teams didn't get to see me or didn't really know what I was on. So, but I kind of felt good about Milwaukee. I just didn't know for sure because you know, at the time I didn't really know Skiles like that. He was really tough on me, so I didn't know if he really liked me or not. So but once draft came, you know what I'm saying, my family and us, we were in the hotel waiting, and then my agent told me I was going 10th, and then I was just like, all right, cool. Like I had a fresher breath there after that.
And I mean, and then 7 games in is when you drop your 55. So like you kind of came in right away and were ready to do your thing. You weren't like listening to nobody's, you know, saying he's not ready, all that other shit, like talking about you being overseas. You were ready to go.
Yeah. And also I think because I haven't played all year, you know, so I didn't get a chance to play all year. So when I got my opportunity, you know, I just took full advantage of it. Even like right out the gate. I know everybody talk about the 55-point game, but my first game I had like 17.99. I was like a rebound and assist away from a triple double. Then I think I had the next game against Derrick Rose. I played good. And then I played against Chauncey Billups in Denver and had like 32 and 7. So I was already on a run. Like I was already on the road that whole time. So, you know, the momentum going in was just crazy for me.
Yeah. All right. So then talk to me. When did you start getting tatted when you came into the league? Was it your rookie year? Was it, you know, talk to me when you were in the league, did you start getting your tattoos?
So my rookie year, I got crazy. I got crazy with it. You know, I went on the arms. I was getting leg tats. I was just getting like little tats here and there, you know, for my first 4 years in Milwaukee. I really didn't start going crazy on my tats until I got signed to the Knicks. So that summer going into the Knicks and after that year, after the Wizards I played, that's when I just went crazy tatted with Steve, and me and Steve really connected, and we just started doing some crazy artwork.
Yeah. Well, so you bring up Steve. I mean, anyone listening, anyone that follows the page knows who Steve is. Legendary artist, and the collab that you guys have, the kind of relationship you guys have is sick. It's like one in a million, I think, that you guys are able to kind of brainstorm and get together the stuff that you do. So I want to talk about your back piece. That's what I want to start with, because that is, everyone always saying that's the best back piece in the basketball world, best back piece, you know, in the game. So talk to me about, first of all, I know it was a cover up. So talk about the original piece, and then, you know, what went into having that full design put together then after.
Yeah. So at first, my back piece used to have Young Money on the back. When I was in high school, I got Young Money on my back when I was going to the 11th grade. You know, I was a big, like, you know, so I was a big Wayne fan.
Yeah.
I actually stole that name from Monte Ellis, because they used to call Monte Ellis Young Money back in the day in high school. That's how far, like, the high school world I was in. So I used to call myself like Young Money because I knew, like, you know, I was young and, you know, just like cocky at that time. But so I had that for a while. And then on my back, I remember Steve coming to LA. We was at 201 Ocean Ave up in Santa Monica at like a condo or whatever. And we just knocked out my back in a whole week. It was kind of like just freestyle. Like I was just going off the head with just different stuff. And yeah, man, we were just able to make, like, you know, just legendary magic, man. Like, you know, it was dope sessions, man. Like I remember just like a lot of people come through, like Party Next Door would come through like some of my sessions, a lot of rappers, a lot of just artists and things like that. So my tattoos were always like a vibe.
Yeah, that's dope. So you and Steve, you say you met Steve when you went to the Knicks. Was that like someone kind of put you on, or how did you guys like actually meet?
Yeah, so I had asked Darrell Wright. Darrell Wright actually put me on because he was the first one to get tatted by him, and I think he had like a picture of his son on his back. And I was just like, yo, who did that? And he was like, Steve. And then me and Steve got connected. He came through one of my birthday parties, and then you know, he had tatted the candle on the back of my ear, and then he had did this just Jesus rosary on the back of my arm first, and then after that it was go time. After that it was like you know.
So how many times do you think you see Steve, like, let's say a year, how many times you linking up with Steve to get tatted nowadays?
Yeah, so Steve is like one of my best friends. Like, so I see Steve all the time. He come to LA. Like, and it's not even just on tattoo now. It's more just like friendship.
Yeah.
It's keeping him in the loop of like, guys, I feel like he should tag. Because Steve is like like he's like a members only type of guy. So
Yeah.
so he
Yeah.
likes to keep his core of people. So, but yeah, I mean, I just seen Steve. Like, I just got my Corella tatted. Still healing
Mhm.
right now. So yeah, I just seen Steve like probably like last week. So we still tap in. I mean, I don't have a lot of room anymore.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
a lot of tasks now I'm just going over.
Yeah. So talk to me then about that and like the room thing, because you just got the Virgil piece, which I want to touch back on after, but you're essentially just like running out of space at this point. You went to the face, you do have the Prophet right on the side of your head,
Yes.
and then you have the Dior bike on the back of your head, like full back of your head.
Yes.
So for you, is there a stopping point, or are you ready to just go all out and until there's literally nothing left?
Well, I don't think I would get anything directly on my face, like straight up in my face. I think the Prophet's probably the last one I would probably put on my face. I think the next big one, probably when I have a daughter, I'll put my daughter on my neck.
Mm-hmm.
Just go full throttle out my neck with my daughter. And then I'll just fill up like little spaces like that. But I really don't really have too much room. I'll probably go over some tats. I don't know if that really counts as another tat, but yeah, I'll find room.
Yeah.
I'll probably go on top of my feet. I still got some head space on top of my head, so we'll see. We'll see.
And did this become like when you grew up? Did you always kind of want tats, or was this like once you got your first one, it was like boom, I'm addicted. Like I need more.
Well, I was a big AI fan growing up, so AI is like the GOAT to me. AI, and then Wayne. When Wayne made that crazy run, Carter 2, Carter 3 came out when he did the Double X, I think, magazine, and he had his tats. I think him and Birdman, they had their tats out. And I was just like, yo, I got to get blasted like that. And ever since then, like that was just like, a couple of my idols. Ricky Hill, Tommy Hilfiger's son, he's a guy I was really close with. He's tatted like crazy. So he was like another one of my idols too. So those are like my tattoo idols right there. And also Steve.
And what was for you kind of the longest or like craziest tattoo story you have?
Man, the craziest probably my Bronco that I have on my back.
Mm-hmm.
The big Bronco that I have, I think that took about 5.5 hours because it was so much black ink that he had to keep going over. But that one, and probably my head too, because I had the Tupac on top of my head. That one took a minute too because that was on the top of my dome. So that took about like 3 hours, but it was just painful.
Yeah. Well, I was just gonna ask. So most painful, I'm assuming, is either that or the back of the head.
That or the ribs. The ribs hurt too. My Whitney Houston one hurt really bad. Yeah.
So you've kind of always been like an art guy, into things like that. Talk to me about how Tuff Crowd kind of came about and when you started, really looking and getting interested into fashion and how that brand kind of started.
Tuff Crowd started in 2018. I had bought the name when I had first got back from China. I spent like 4 months in China, and the brands out there and the way China embraces, our brands and our culture was so big. It was only right for me just to start a brand, which I feel like every guy in the NBA should start their own brand, because I feel like if the NBA is paying you and Nike's paying you to wear the product, well, then how dope are you, like, as a person? So, I think everybody should start their own brand. But yeah, man, just seeing the culture from China, being all around the world, from Italy, my experience was always taking risks. I just felt like it was something new and another opportunity for me to, do something different. And it's been going well. It's been a challenge, of course, with a company not, I just stopped playing basketball and I got into like running the business, which a lot of us have no idea about it, but it's been a great process. It's been a great process.
Yeah. Well, I'm a big fan of the company. I bought shorts back in I think like 2019, 2020. All your shit is fire. So talk to me about like whenever you're posting pictures, I feel like all your photos and stuff that you post, like whenever you're hanging out with, whether it's Chris Brown or just like the groups that you're with, it just always looks like it's like everyone kind of has that same vibe in terms of like everyone's super tatted, everyone like is dressed super well. talk to me about like just the crew that you kind of hang out with, and you know what you kind of try and surround yourself with.
Well, for one, with a company, when you start a company, you got to be 1,000% sure. So, and you know, you got to be 10 toes down with it. So everywhere I go, I'm always having Tuff Crowd with me, or a hat, some socks, or something with me. And you know, I think that's the problem with a lot of people with their brands. They don't like to, you know, they feel like they're doing too much, or is that? It's like, but this is, you know, this is you. So to me, I just try to adapt to like, you know, just my culture and things that people like about me. You know, I like to keep it classy. I like to keep it clean. You know, I love, you know, the main colors are black. You know, hostile is more, you know, Tuff Crowd is more just like at the end of the day, life is just a tough crowd. Like hostile territory is just more like, you know, we're hostile, but in a good way. Like it's not a bad thing. It's just we want more. Like, you know what I'm saying? We want more. We want to become, you know, we want to become number one. We want to become bosses. We want to become entrepreneurs and things like that. So it's more of a, it's more of like being inspired.
That's fire. How do you view yourself? I'm kind of curious because, like I said, from the outside, I'm like Brandon Jennings. Like, you know, you're up here when it comes to the tattoo world, the NBA tattoos. Do you ever have guys like from the league now, or guys you have relationships with, like let's say a guy like JC Jordan Clarkson, like come to you and kind of talk to you about tats and just like have a like organic kind of art conversation like that with any of the guys in the league now?
Yeah, me and Jordan, man, we have a great relationship. He's actually one of the first persons to tell me that Tuff Crowd was going to go. When I first got into to the brand, you know, he was like one of the first NBA players I gave it to. And you know, he's always been one of my biggest supporters since day one. You know, guys around the league like KD, you know, you see Steph now is in it. I just made Steph a jacket, so I can't wait for him to see that. Yeah, you know, it's always great to see your peers, you know, support you. You know, I think that's the biggest thing. And like, you know, I had said something the other day, like only like 4,500 people have played in the NBA. So I feel like our brotherhood should be way stronger, and we need to start supporting each other more because, you know, I feel like we hold the culture for everything.
For sure. And how have you seen that culture kind of change from when you came into the league, you know, in 2009 to now in terms of tattoos? So in 2009, you know, what did you kind of see going around the league, and then versus now when you're watching guys on TV? What's the difference you see?
Tattoos was still kind of looked at kind of like side eye. Like when I first came in, like as a rookie, 19, they were looking at me like, all right, what, like you getting all them tats, like, you know. But now it's just, I mean, it's marketing. Like I feel like, you know, everybody, like, you know, it's a big thing. And, you know, one of the people that's really killing it right now in the tagging, I think, is Jason Tatum. Man, like he's killing it. Like his tattoos are like I'm looking at his artwork with Steve, and he's really taking his time with it. And you know, because you got to, like a lot of guys, you know, they'll just get whatever, but it's like, you know, you gotta remember this is on you forever. Like your tattoo artist is like your barber. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like your barber, it's like your, you know, your financial advisor, because it's like, you know, this is on me forever. So, you know, but yeah, Jason Tatum, Jordan Clarkson, you know, those are my two favorite guys right now, you know, in the NBA that has, you know, with their tattoos.
Yeah. So have you ever been in a session with like or just been in the room kind of when someone else is getting tatted?
Yeah. Sharif O'Neal, he's come to my house. Jordan Clarkson's been over here to my house, gotten tatted before. So with Steve, man, it's just a vibe, man. Like, you know, and I think I enjoy seeing other young guys get tatted now. Like just conversating with them, like, yo, why you doing this? Like, why you getting this? And, you know, you just starting to, you know, you get to know, you know, certain people.
So you talk about that, like kind of talking to younger guys and having that influence. When you came into the league, was there ever kind of like a peer pressure or like a moment where like you had like the older dude on the team kind of be like, yo, let's go get tatted, or like you just someone that you were friends with in the league and they were like, yo, like, let's go?
Not really on some tats. The best, I mean, my favorite vet ever is Kurt Thomas and Jerry Stackhouse. I mean, you know, like that's how, you know, 2009, you know, those are my bets. So, you know, they were a little older. They wasn't really into like the tattoos and stuff like that. But I think, honestly, I kind of like started it. Honestly, like, you know, I feel like once I got to New York and I had the leg tats with the Sade and the wine, when the wine glass going down my leg in New York, I mean, the wine bottle and things like that, like, I think I kind of like sparked it, low key.
I agree. I think in general, you moved it a lot. Like, I feel like you said, AI was kind of your inspiration, but I feel like you were kind of the guy to be like, like fuck it. And then especially after basketball, you like kept going, and your name is still like, people still know who Brandon Jennings is. Like a 10-year-old kid, that's just started watching basketball still knows who you are, which I think is super important when you talk about like having your own brand, having your own culture. Like still being known now, even when you're not playing ball, is super important.
Yeah. I mean, because it's always life after basketball. That's why I say guys now. And I feel like with me, I feel like guys should look at my situation and start a brand now. Like, Lonzo Ball, the Ball brothers, like, what I'm saying? Like they have their own brand. Like, what I'm saying? Like I said, if the NBA and all these other people are paying you money for their product, like, you can start your own brand, and you can start your own company, and, what I'm saying, become your own, because now you're talking about $1 billion.
Yeah.
Since.
So I remember I seen you play live once. It was in Brooklyn. You were on Milwaukee, you and Monte. I remember it was a double overtime game. Joe Johnson hit 2 buzzer beaters, one to send it to OT, and then one in OT to win it. Probably the sickest fucking game I've ever been to. But I want to talk to you about like being in that backcourt with Monte, because Monte is another guy. When you think of tattoos, he's another dude who was fucking blasted.
Yeah.
So you talk to me about you and Monte, like your relationship, and if you guys ever kind of talked about tattoos and just anything about Monte.
Man, Monte was more quiet, man. He was just a hooper. He really didn't say much. He just let his game do the talking. But man, that's a good one you did bring. I forgot Monte did have a lot of tats, man. He was. Actually, he was one of the first Milwaukee players I was to see come through the locker room blasted. Blasted crazy. So, man. His tattoos were very inspiring too. But yeah, Monte was just more like quiet, just to himself. So he just let his game do the talking.
Yo, everybody in New York, I need you to listen up. If you're looking for a place to get tatted, you're looking for some artists, you want to make sure you're not getting no whack fucking tattoos, go look at my boys over at First Class NYC on Instagram. They're located in Manhattan on Canal Street, so super close, easy place to get to. You can take the train there. And my boy Mikael over there is the shop owner / artist in the shop. And he's super talented, super dope guy. So make sure you check him out and check out all the other artists at First Class NYC. Early on, did you, like before you met Steve kind of, and you were still, kind of searching for that artist, that right connection, did you have any like crazy stories where it was like, you got some like random dude hitting your tats up, or like some like botch job, like someone fucked your shit up? Like, is there any like crazy stories like that?
The only one I have is when, so remember when LeBron had, what was that he had on his leg? He had a tattoo on his leg, the witness. Remember the witness tattoo that he had on his leg? Like you can go back, but he had like witness tattoo on his leg. And I remember me going, I cut it out in a Slam magazine, and I remember going to the guy. I was like, yo, I want to put Messiah on my leg going down like that. And he put it on my leg, and it was crooked. And it was like crooked, and I was hot, and I was like, yo, you just, and luckily it was crooked to where like the socks could hide it, but man, I was so hot though. I remember being so hot, and I made him like put another tat over it or something like that.
So I mean, that's a wild story. Were you in the league when that happened, or that was early on? That was like high school.
This was early. This is like my high school days.
Okay,
this is like high school. Yeah, I was still at Oak Hill at this time.
Okay. Yeah, and then talk to me. You have Roscoe's Fried Chicken tattooed on you, right?
For sure. Yes.
So talk to me about that. I feel like that's a super interesting tat to have.
Yeah, Roscoe's is like my favorite restaurant growing up. I love chicken and waffles. I love breakfast food. So Roscoe's was something, being from California is known for. I just remember a lot of Sunday after churches going to Roscoe's. When I first got to the league, Roscoe's was still the only restaurant I would go to eat. So I did a Roscoe Under Armour Bloodline shoe back in the day with Roscoe. So I did a little collab with them. So yeah, Roscoe was forever in the heart.
That's fire. I didn't know about the shoe collab. That's dope. Is there any guys in the league today that you're, kind of friends with, or that you've talked to, that you like want to see go get tatted?
Guys that Steph Curry.
Okay.
I would like to see Steph Curry get some more tats and go through Steve to get some tats. I think that would be different. I think now that he broke the record for most 3 points, probably will be MVP this year. You know, probably get another ring this year. So I think if he accomplished all that, I think it's time to go get tatted and like, you know, just come back like a bad
And
boy.
go crazy.
Yeah, just go crazy. Just a little bit though, not too crazy. Just, you know, a little bit like, you know, the back area, like, you know.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
So you say that like you have a nice relationship with KD. When you talk about like Steph kind of going low key with it, KD is one of those guys where if you really don't like look, you can't tell KD has tattoos because KD's got, you know, he's got the full torso, full back, but a lot of people don't know that because you're wearing the jersey all the time. And then his leg sleeve too. Steve did his leg, and his leg is phenomenal, but he's always wearing fucking leg sleeves, like warming up or during the game, so you can never see his tats. So was that ever a thing for you, like when you're wearing, because right now you have the cutoff, right? So you're showing off your tats. When you're getting dressed or when you're, you know, when you were out on the court playing ball, are you thinking about like, oh, I want to have kind of show off my tats?
Every time. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Every time I get a tat, I'm trying to, you know, it's somewhere where it could be shown off or something like that. Like I don't get tats to hide at all. Like this is me. Like this is what I put on my body. You either like it or you can watch out. Like, you know, for me. But yeah. I've always wanted to show off my tats, and because you know Steve was putting, you know, dope ink on me, and you know if you ever see Steve tats close up, they're like crazy too. So that just inspired me to be more free with mine.
Yeah, he's wild too. He has full head straight down. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so he really goes all out too.
Yeah. Steve was lit.
Have you and Steve, have you been on one of those trips? I remember I seen a video where Steve went with like KD, I think DeAndre. They went to like, I think it was like Bahamas or some shit, and they were like out there partying, getting tatted, like all that shit. Have you guys had anything like that?
Yeah. So I visit Steve at his shop in Vancouver.
Okay.
Yeah. I went like, I want to say, I think I went 4 years ago. I flew out there to Vancouver, and I stayed for like a couple of days, and I was just vibing out. Went to his shop. You know what I'm saying? Saw how he, you know, his town and everything like that. It was cool, man. Dope experience. Like that's when I had did my Whitney Houston, and I think I had did another leg tat or something like that out there. But yeah, it was a dope session, like just to go to his shop and actually get tatted. He had my jersey up, me, DeAndre Jordan, Josh Smith, our jerseys was up in his office at that time. So it was cool.
That's fire. And have you ever gotten tatted like outside of the shop in terms of like I know James Johnson, there's a story that he got tatted once. Same thing with DJ actually, on a plane, like while they were flying. Have you had anything crazy like that?
Nothing on the plane. Nah, nothing like that. Just usually like I'm usually getting tatted. Like every time I get tatted, I want to have like a party. Like I want to have like a small little function, like a small little vibe, something like that. Because at the end of the day, like it's still a spiritual experience for me, just because it's going on my body. It's something that, you know, like it's forever. So, you know, like the vibe, the company that I keep around has to be like on that same type of vibe I'm on.
For sure. So two things I want to touch on too right now is how sick is it to see like people, I always see you put it on your story and stuff, like when other, like your friends or just fans get the Tuff Crowd logo or the Tuff Crowd words tattooed, like how dope is that?
Man, that's still shocking to me, man, to see people get the dog or get Tuff Crowd tatted on them. But man, I'm very honored. I'm very like, you know, grateful. I'm very like, it keeps me going. Just the fact that people love, you know what I'm saying, the brand Tuff Crowd, like they're really in debt. They really believe it. Like they really believe that life is a tough crowd, because it is. Like we're always trying to prove ourselves. You know, anything you do, like you get a new tattoo, somebody's gonna have something to say, or you do something different, everybody's gonna always have an opinion. So just to see people like have that dog or that tough crowd, just like, yeah, that should be pumping me up.
I was gonna say, when I see that, I'm like, oh, that's wild. Like sitting there, like if that's your brand, that's got to be sick.
Yeah.
Was there ever a time, like when you were in the league getting tatted, like you said, you were super young, you were kind of the first guys, where like not essentially like players, but like upper management or like coaches kind of like were being a little shady, or like kind of said something about, you know, what you were doing with your tats?
Oh yeah, for sure. I remember my rookie year, I was getting, because I used to get tatted during the season. So I would get tatted like knowing that we have a game the next day. I have to wear an arm sleeve and I have to hide it, go out there. But I would always get my tattoos like in preseason, because I just felt like, all right, downtime, like it's preseason, like, all right, whatever. Like, so I would get blasted during preseason. So then by the time the regular season started, it was go time. So I would just be all bruised up, like, like that's why my preseason games will always be like kind of trash on the low.
And did like people get tight at you? Like did GMs, coaches, like people ever say anything to you?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Coaches, I mean, like scouts for sure. He would always say something, or like one of the coaches, they'd be like, "There you go, get another tat. Like there you go, just tat his body up. Like just like damn, Rook, you spend more time on your body than like stuff like that." So
yeah,
it was cool though. I don't care.
Where do you see the kind of tat game going in the NBA in the next like few years?
I believe the tat world is going to become a big thing, especially for like video games like 2K, like NBA, like NBA 2K. I think like they should put tat artists in the game.
I've tried to. Me and Steve had a conversation about that.
Yeah.
I was saying that they need to get whether it's just him or a handful of artists, they need to get them in the game.
Yeah. I think they should get like three of the top tattoo artists, put them in the game. You know how they be setting up shops and stuff, like you go to the tattoo shop or whatever. We're trying to bring our brand to 2K too. But yeah, I can see it like that. I don't know if you can NFT tattoos. I don't know, like something like that. Because it's like the tattoos is like lead fits now. Like it's like everybody want to see what you got on your body, just like
exactly
how you walking through the arena. So. I can see it really becoming like a thing. I can see you guys giving out awards. I can see like, the tats, the Hall of Fame, like all that. So I can see it becoming a big thing because that's just where everything is going now.
Yeah. And so what I want to ask too is you're a guy, you have a face tat, right? There's a couple guys in the league that have face tats now and that are going that direction. And how do you see that, like in terms of the acceptance of kind of just letting people do what the fuck they want with their body and enough of that, like, oh, you got a face tat, you're this, that. Like, where do you kind of see the world going in terms of that?
I mean, well, the type of money these NBA players making today, I mean, I don't even think it really matters if you get a tat face or not. To me, that's just where I think now. I mean, I think, some these guys making so much money, it's kind of like, yo, it don't matter. Like, like what are you gonna tell a guy that's making $20 to $30 million a year or don't get a tat face? Like, come on, like I'm not gonna have a job after I'm done with this or anything like that. So I think guys are just being free, and it's the cool factor. It's always cool. Everybody wants to be cool. Like at the end of the day, no matter what, like everybody wants to be cool. Everybody wants to be looked at being cool and things like that. So that's why tattoos are always going to be a big thing because it's the cool factor. It's cool. Like, it's a cool thing to do.
I think it's like you're saying, it's like how everyone wants to kind of have the best fit on. Everyone now it's like is realizing like, oh shit, I gotta have like some dope tattoos. I gotta show off my cool tattoos, cool ideas and whatnot.
And which is dope too. Like, I mean, like I said, Jason Tatum, he's killing it right now. Like to me, like he's like, he's at the top of the list besides Jordan, or as tats in the NBA right now. Like I just saw a tat piece that he got on his back.
The cross, with the crucifixion he got.
Yeah, it's hard like that, so it's just, probably by the time he's done with his back piece, he might have the best back piece to me.
That's what people were saying. They were once I posted that up, everyone was commenting Brandon Jennings got a little competition now.
Yeah. I mean, I'm done. Like I'm done. So so anybody that's coming for me, go ahead, man. It's all good.
Everyone's playing catch up right now.
Yeah.
Would you ever tattoo someone or have you ever tattooed someone, tattooed yourself?
Have I ever tattooed
Have
someone?
you ever like tattooed someone or tattooed yourself?
No, but if I had to tattoo somebody, I'd probably tattoo Steve. Just because like Steve has done so much work on me. Like it'd probably be something small. Like I'll probably try it out maybe one time. If if he would be down. But that's probably it.
And have you ever had any kind of interest in that? Because you are like a big, art guy and into designing things. Have you ever kind of thought about it?
I haven't really thought about it. This is the first time. This is the first time somebody actually asked me that question. So I don't know. We'll see in the future, man. We'll see. I might, you might see me post something one day.
Yeah. Listen, if we're ever in the same place, you could tattoo me.
All right, let's do it. I'm down.
I'm down. That would be dope.
Let's do it. For sure.
So you bring up, I want to just talk about now your kind of top guys that you give kind of credit to. You brought up obviously Tatum and Clarkson. But is there any other guys, like if you could give me like your top 5, kind of like Mount Rushmore for NBA tattoos? It could be past or present, so you could throw AI on there.
NBA past or present. Well, I'm gonna go AI first.
Hmm.
I gotta go Gilbert Arenas. That Gilbert
Yeah,
Arenas tattoo that he had in the Jordan Clarkson, um, myself. I'm putting myself in there,
I like that.
and then I'm gonna put Jason Tatum in there right now because that's just my top five for his tats in the NBA.
Uh,
That it's like AI. Of course, he's the first one. Gilbert. That Gilbert piece that he had on in the magazine was just crazy.
yeah,
I mean, myself, I think I'm the flyest to ever walk through the league. And then you have Jordan, and then you have Jason Tatum.
hell yeah, I like that. Talk to me about now. I want to go back to what we mentioned before, the Virgil piece that you recently got. I think it was like you said, it was last week or a week ago. Just talk to me about kind of, I know obviously the influence he had on you. So talk to me about that and in terms of like how that kind of helped you start your brand and just navigate your brand. And then, why the tattoo and why you felt that you wanted to get that.
Well, Virgil opened up the doors for us. I mean, for every, you know, for anybody who wants to get into a streetwear brand, like he took a streetwear brand to working at to Louis Vuitton, and I'm saying for myself, like having a streetwear brand and seeing that and seeing his progress over the years. I think it was like a three-year window that he had, and just to see all the process that he made is crazy. Like it's in the fashion world, he is important.
Mhm.
Especially to me, just the risk that he took, the ideas that he did, and the way he was changing the world in his thought process was just amazing, man. Like, it's sad that I'm saying he passed. But with his situation, it's just like we got to get to work, man. You just never know when your time is when your time is coming and God's going to call you home. So you got to get to work, and it's pushing me to go harder and harder every day.
Sure. Yeah, no, I mean, like you said, I think that all ties in, and I think I see kind of when I'm from the outside, Virgil in you, where it's like you kind of went out, did your own thing, and it's like you're inspiring a shit ton of people, doing what you're doing. So keep it up.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
How long? This is just to kind of wrap up here, and then we're all good. I want to know two things. How long do you think you've been under the needle? If you could put that together, like just an estimate, and then how much you think you spent on your tattoos.
All right. How long a session I ever had was probably 8 hours with
Okay.
Steve. 8 hours in one day, and then I had to come do another six the next day. Um,
Shit.
so yeah, I was knocking them out. Like I was rushing my tests. Like I was like I was low key trying to be the most blasted in the league. Like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back to my top five. I have to put. I'm gonna take. I'm gonna take. I'm gonna take Gilbert Arenas out, and I'm gonna put J.R. Smith in my top five of tattoo artists.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have to put J.R. Smith in my top five ever. Just because like he's blasted, like
Yeah.
what I'm saying, like he was one of the first ones too I've seen to walk through with a lot of tattoos. So
Yeah.
J.R. Smith for
Did
sure.
you was JR on the Knicks when you were on the Knicks?
No,
No.
J.R. was when I first got to the league. J.R. was in Denver still.
Okay.
Mello.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was cold because he, like you said, he had. I remember even Denver JR. He had the Young Money or the Yankee logo, the Young Money on his
Mhm.
neck, like right away. Like he was
Yeah.
one of those guys where it was like everyone was clean cut, and then JR was JR. JR had fucking
Just
everything.
yeah, just blasted.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. J.R. was lit. Yeah, J.R. was lit. J.R. was lit.
And then how much do you think you've spent on tattoos, like all your tats together?
Uh, I want to say between 30 to 40,000.
Okay.
30, forty
See,
thousand.
that's not even that's like reasonable. I feel like for a guy that is head down, like literally head down. I feel like that's like reasonable.
Yeah, I didn't really start spending crazy money on my tats till I got with Steve
Mm,
because I was really taking my my artwork serious. So, I was yeah. I would say about 30 to 40,000. Like
yeah,
yeah, but I was knocking it out though. Like I was just knocking it out. Like
yeah.
all like I'll see Steve one month and then see him again the next month. It
So
was like
talk to me about how do the ideas kind of come? Because I know for me and for a lot of people, it's like I'm always scared to, like, if I have an impulse idea, I'm like, oh, shit, I want that right now. I'm always scared to just go because then in a month or 2 months, I'm sitting there and I'm like, fuck, what did I just do that for?
Yeah, I think my inspiration comes from everywhere I've been in the world. Like, Rome, China. I went to Russia, playing in Milwaukee, going to Oak Hill, being from Los Angeles. Like, so I've been all around the world and I've seen so much different things. So the creativity is just easy for me to just tap in fast because it's like for one, I got the Joker, I got Harley Quinn on me. I got the girl from Friday, and she was on the phone talking to Craig.
Yeah.
And that comes from like childhood, like the girl from Friday, like seeing Friday. Growing up, the Joker from Batman, Harley Quinn from Suicide Squad. So Lauryn Hill, Sade, like music. So everything is everything I have tatted is everything I like around me. So I love music, I love movies. I love art. I love I love dark vibes. I love, God, of course, and, things like that. So it's just all around like what I love.
Yeah, that's fire. All right, so I want to ask you one last thing before we wrap up, and that's just talk to me about the whole Bucks and Six kind of movement and whole thing that happened recently. How fucking sick was that, like, for you to kind of live that through and for everyone to notice like that actually happened and dig that back up and have that be a thing?
Man, it was crazy because I was at Baron Davis's event and we were watching, I think, Game 5, and they had won the game. And I did an interview before I said, "Yo, Bucks are going to win it in 6. Like, they're going to win tonight."
Yeah.
Boom. And then they had won. And then the Bucks, people from the Bucks had called me and they was like, "Yo, the fans, like, we want you to come, this and that." So I wasn't expecting none of that. Like, I wasn't expecting. I thought I was going to come to the game, see them win. And, it just turned into like a big thing. And, it was a good moment. Like it was a great moment just to be a part of that franchise. Being drafted there, playing there for 4 years, what I'm saying? Coming back, seeing Giannis win his first ring. And, that's history forever. Giannis is also in the Tuff Crowd the day, the parade and things like that. So business-wise, it was a great trip. It was a great trip business-wise.
Yeah. All right, man. That's it for us. I really appreciate you coming on, bro. Absolute legend. Keep doing what you're doing with the brand and everything. I'm gonna stay tuned in. And just love, bro. I appreciate you coming on.
Matt, thank you, man. Thank you guys for having me. InkedNBA, you already know, always love.